Hi, my name is Caleb Collage, and I'm in the Engineering Mechatronics pathway at CSI. For my project, I made a model-sized car wash. I was thinking and trying to come up with something for my capstone project that I actually enjoy creating, and then one day, while thinking, I was going through a car wash, and I realized the capabilities I had to make my own model-sized one, and it actually started to really interest me, and from there on, I was off to researching and preparing to create this. So first, I just looked at some more car washes to get an idea of how I could replicate them. Once I knew the basics of what I wanted and more, I made this sketch of it so that when I was creating it, I had a good reference to look back to, and I could make it as accurate as I wanted from what I had in my mind at the beginning. I got into the building stage. First, I took a perfect size of plastic that I found I already had it at my house, and it's the perfect size that I was able to make the car wash on top of. And then after that, I took and cut 3-inch pieces off of 2x2 blocks to screw into the bottom of the platform to give it some height and give it some elevation. Next, once my parts came in, I got to work at the motors. I took apart 3 pens, keeping the center tubing in and filling them with spray foam. Once it dried, I drilled a small hole in that, filled it with super glue, and then stuck the motors into that. This made the 2 side wraps along with a top horizontal wrap. For the cloth on it, all I did was just take a t-shirt made of cloth. I cut that into small strips, glued it onto the wraps, and then at all the same length, and then that was it, so that when it would spin, it would look just like a real wrap. For mounting the motors in general, I used more pieces of the wood blocks to be able to keep the motors in the correct place. For the side motors, though, I used motor mounts so that they would sit perfectly horizontal, because I found out if they didn't, they would spin off center, and it made it really easy for them to weaken and fall off and break the spray foam inside. I made 2 blowers by just putting small attachments on to the motors and putting them on small mounts with wood at the ends. Those are very easy. And then after that, I painted all of the wood for all those mounts black. Next up was the wiring. I wired up the motors by daisy chaining the motors together for powering each of the 3 sections of the wash into 3 separate relays to power them and have them on and off at different times so that it could look real and legit and professional. After that, I just added one final touch of a track to just show the resemblance to a real car wash, and that was about it. My one and only and biggest issue with this project was figuring out how to power all of my motors. I tried multiple ways trying to solely put everything through the Arduino, but I never got all the power I was needing because I didn't know, but I then learned I needed relays. I was able to put separate power into the separate 3 for the 3 separate sections of the car wash, and this allowed me to get the correct power and allowed for perfect delay timing and sequencing throughout the wash, so it was accurate, just like a real wash. Lastly, here is a small video of the project going.